We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy. But we believe that from the fracture, we can build something bigger, better, stronger, more just. This is the task of the Middle Powers.
Global geopolitics is entering a new phase where critical minerals, supply chains, and regional stability are reshaping alliances. In this evolving landscape, Central Asia, the South Caucasus, South Asia, and the reemergence of the Khalistan issue are becoming increasingly interconnected. The United States has publicly identified critical minerals, including rare earth elements, as essential for its economic security, clean energy transition, and defense industry.
Critical minerals are the raw materials for our most important technologies, and President Trump has underscored the importance of securing America's minerals future.
Central Asia is believed to hold significant reserves of these resources. As a result, Washington has expanded diplomatic and economic engagement in the region, aiming to diversify supply chains and reduce reliance on rival powers.
The nations of Central Asia, known as the C5, sit at the historical and geographic crossroads of the world. These nations were once home to the ancient Silk Road connecting east and west. Great history, tremendous, beautiful history. Today, their location in the heart of Eurasia gives them incredible importance and unbelievable potential. Sadly, previous American presidents neglected this region completely. It's an unbelievable region, and by the way, it happens to be an extremely wealthy region, too. But we are fixing that mistake, and I'm committed to making America's partnership with each of these countries stronger than ever before. And I've had a relationship long before this. We've had a great relationship with some of the leaders sitting at the table, and I understand the importance of this region. One of the most important regions. A lot of people don't know that or didn't know that. One of the key items on our agenda is critical minerals.
While some investments and partnerships are confirmed, analysts note that long-term extraction and transport strategies are still evolving. One major geopolitical development has been the U.S.-backed normalization process between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Stability in the South Caucasus is widely seen as essential for regional connectivity projects. Among them is the TRIP corridor, envisioned as a transit route linking Central Asia through Azerbaijan, Turkey, and onward to Europe. While U.S. officials emphasize peace and economic cooperation, some analysts speculate that securing mineral supply routes is a key strategic motivation behind Washington's engagement. Azerbaijan maintains strong strategic ties with Turkey and cooperative relations with Pakistan. The United States has long viewed Pakistan as an important regional security partner. Some geopolitical observers speculate that Pakistan's role could expand in providing indirect security or political backing for emerging trade routes, though no official designation as a security guarantor exists. These alignments are increasingly discussed in policy and strategic circles, particularly as global power competition intensifies. Azerbaijan has supported platforms such as the Baku Initiative Group, BIG, which presents itself as an anti-colonial and human rights advocacy forum. BIG has been particularly vocal against European powers like France, which has historically supported Armenia. France's position often aligned with countries such as Russia and Iran, placing it at odds with Azerbaijan and its partners. In early 2026, BIG organized a conference in Baku officially titled around Violence Against Sikhs and Other Minorities in India. While the conference framing focused on alleged human rights violations, several key participants, particularly representatives from the Sikh Federation UK and Sikh Federation Canada, are widely known as organizations that support the Kalistan cause. Observers note that discussions at the conference extended beyond human rights concerns, repeatedly referencing the Sikh political struggle for Khalistan, its internationalization, and diaspora activism. Although BIG itself did not formally call for a separate Sikh state, critics argue that the event functioned as a platform amplifying the Khalistan narrative under a human rights framework.
I believe that the policies of discrimination, extremism, and violence pursued by the Indian government must be clearly and accurately communicated to the international community, and that relevant international organizations should deliver a fair and principled response. As an international NGO, we will raise this issue at the United Nations and other relevant international bodies.
If you look at the past recent incidents happened in India, what happened? Today, the Muslims, they are suffering, either the Muslims of Kashmir, the Muslims of Gujarat, Christians. During recent Christmas event, there were more than 700 events occurred in India where the Christian community was not allowed to offer the rituals according to their faith.
We're out there as Sikhs, not fleeing from this violence, but to actually challenge the violence and India's violence. That we want to make sure that the world sees us as not as just victims, but as people seeking freedom, people that have been on the case of sovereignty for decades.
The Khalistan movement traces its roots to the period following the 1984 anti-Sikh violence in India, which many Sikh groups describe as a genocide. The movement calls for the creation of a separate Sikh nation-state, citing historical arguments that Punjab was an independent Sikh kingdom, the Sikh Raj, until its annexation by the British Empire in 1849. A US-based group, Sikhs for Justice, SFJ, has for years campaigned for a non-binding Khalistan referendum. India has designated SFJ as an unlawful organization under its domestic laws. In a major diplomatic escalation, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police publicly accused the Indian government of involvement in the killing of Khalistan activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar on Canadian soil, an allegation India has strongly denied.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Separately, U.S. authorities revealed a foiled plot targeting SFJ leader Gurpatwant Singh Panan, further intensifying scrutiny and tensions. Amid these developments, U.S.-India relations have faced strain, including the imposition of tariffs on Indian goods and growing mistrust over security and intelligence issues. Analysts suggest that strategic priorities, such as supply chains, regional corridors, and geopolitical competition, are increasingly reshaping partnerships once considered stable. What was once seen as a regional separatist issue has now intersected with global power politics, infrastructure competition, and diaspora influence. Whether these developments represent a coordinated strategy or a convergence of separate interests remains debated. But in today's geopolitical environment, economic corridors and political movements rarely exist in isolation. In the new global order, control over supply routes and the narratives surrounding them may prove just as powerful as armies,